Hello and welcome back to the texture pack video. I apologize, it's been a while since release of this because something happened with saving all the layer that I did in the last video, and I had to go back and redo all that, not realizing. I went back to the other day and realized, so I just slowly did it. Some things have been changed, as you may notice, but some things have kept the same. So let's go on with the sponge. Originally I did start doing this and it just looked horrible, and I wanted to change it, but first I just tried adding a little like shading just to see what it looked like with that, but it doesn't look good at all. So I changed the colours of it, so we've got an orange and sort of a darker yellow, and then added all this extra shading to make it look a different shape and to make it look shiny. Once I'd done that, I was drawing little squares onto where the holes would go, where I would colour it in black to make it look like holes, to make it look more like a sponge. Without realising, I did it all lopsided. It was a bit wonky, so I had to delete the whole half and then sort it out that way. And then just coloured it all in black once it was all selected and done, and then moved on to the glass. Now with the glass, I wasn't sure if you could have just slightly transparent. I think it's either solid colour or fully see-through. I don't think you can have slightly transparent, but I went for it anyway. If it doesn't work, then it just means thicker glass. It shouldn't make much of a difference. Right, with the diamonds, I just copied and pasted the coal down and used the blue from the diamond block, which I made in an earlier episode, and did all the shading and selected the lighter part of the diamond block for the middle shading, just to make it look like it sticks out of the stone more. Now it was redstone. With the redstone, I hadn't done anything to do with it yet, so it's like a whole new colour that I had to sort of create and decide upon whether it's going to be bright or dark. I eventually decided on darker red, which I think was the best idea. It looks cool, it looks nice, and yeah. Now the brighter red for the shading, and it was complete. With the leaf block, I accidentally deleted more than a block without noticing, and I did quite a lot of this texture without realizing what I'd done. But however, it kept the same. I managed to shrink it down in the end, so this is how I did it. I selected the darker shade of green from the sapling I did in the earlier episode and coloured it all in. Selected all the inside and selected the second darker green for the middle, and then selected the brighter one, not realising that I hadn't done the shading around the edge first, so I had to reselect the darker green and do the shading. This took a long time. As you can see, it's taking a while once it's sped up, so imagine how long it took when it wasn't sped up. I had to merge all the layers together, which took quite a long time. Selected the lighter green, and instead of drawing it on, I went straight to the line tool and shaded it using just the line tool, just to speed up the process. Still without realizing, I started adding more squares. Halfway through doing so, I did realize that the block is too big and had to be shrunk down, and then scrapped the idea of having more squares on top of it. As you can see, I get a little confused and realise what I've done, and then delete all those squares from the image and shrink it down, and you can see some slightly transparent colours in there, but they should fix once it's applied to the texture pack. I pasted the same image over and just did a darker green over the back for the lower graphics. For the stone, I wasn't sure as to what I was doing for the thickness of the stone. I slowly realised how it had to be done after and thinned it down a bit. The edge of the stone from the top and the bottom will be slightly thicker, but I like this idea of it having like sort of rows. And then I added the shine to it, make it look good. Moved on. This is one that I'm not too sure about. I think it looks good, but I'm not too sure about the shape of it. Maybe I'll go back and change the shape, but keep the colours the same. As you can see, the shape's a little bit weird, but I think it'll look alright once it's actually applied to texture pack and used on a world, as it puts two of them in a cross shape. With this, I decided to add just really tiny leaves at the bottom, but darker than the other ones, so, and thinner as well, so it's smaller and thinner and darker to make it different, to make it stand out. The crafting table, I wanted it to be a table instead of just a block, so what I did was did an outline of a shape of a table, drew that on, coloured the bit in which the table is going to go down to, added the shading, and then deleted the bottom part where there'll be nothing there. This will look like it's got little legs and it's just a table stood up, which is good. For the furnace you won't have seen in the last episode, it's different in this one, so I just copied and pasted it from the old one. It looks a lot better in my opinion. And for the glow of this, I had a really interesting idea of just literally giving it a red glow, making it brighter, and then just deleting it from all the other textures that was around it. This gave it a really good electric heating effect. I was thinking about doing it with yellow, but then originally just turned it straight to red because I was sure it would look better both red. Then to the top slash bottom, not 100% sure, of the furnace, I just used the top of the slab, so it'll be great for camouflaging in to things. For this sapling, I just copied and pasted the other one, and then just chose dark colours, and just filled it all in, and did all the shading, and made it the same shape as the previous sapling, but slightly different colours. One thing I forgot to do was change the shade of the wood on that bit, so I'll have to go back onto that on the next episode. And this is it. We've got sponge, glass, diamond, redstone, both leaves, the stone bricks, the desert bush, the other bushes, crafting table, and the furnaces, the other saplings. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and goodbye.